We are at the new public safety headquarters. Officer Ryan Donnelly has joined me for a tour. First of all, welcome.
Thank you.
You need no welcome. Right?
Welcome here.
Well, exactly. I'm so used to welcoming you at the studio. You're welcoming me here at the headquarters.
Well, welcome to my office.
Very good. So we will take a tour.
Yep.
And you will be our guide.
I'll do my best.
Okay, so Ryan, where are we at now? First part of the tour?
So this is the top level of our two-story garage that we have. So generally we keep police vehicles here. There are way more spaces than there were at the old station. If you remember, we had what we called the back deck where the patrol cars would go. There was barely enough room for those cars, let alone all the unmarks that we have as well. And then we'll go down below and we'll go take a look at where we park our regular cars. I'd like to bring your attention behind us. So these two garage doors right here, these two doors are a dual bay drive-in, drive-out sally port. Where at the old station, we had, it looked like a garage that you had to back in or pull in and then back out after you drop your prisoners off. So here, both doors can go up. Those cameras are plate readers. So all of the marked cruisers that have cages to bring people in, the partitions to bring prisoners in, it will recognize the plate. It will go up, you drive in, shuts behind you, and then there's another door on the other side that we'll see as well. So it's just drive in, drive out. We keep our wagon in there, which is really, really good, out of the elements, so that's awesome. So that's a huge addition right there, but we'll see that later.
Okay. So the next stop on our tour brings us to something we don't see readily.
No. So as you notice that the top level is half covered, half not. The area that looks like it's covered is actually solar panels. So that will help defer the cost of any electricity that the building uses. I know I have solar panels at my house and it generates a fair amount of electricity. I can only imagine how much this does. So, but it was a good energy efficiency thing that they put in here. It's pretty cool too.
We're about to head into the building, Ryan.
Yeah, a little bit. So this is going to be our sally port door for where we keep our bicycles for the Cobra unit. So it's pretty cool. Everything's fob controlled, fob accessed here. Not everybody's fobs are programmed to all doors, but this is where we store all of our bicycles. And Officer Greg Marr is doing some maintenance on his bicycle right now. So it works out pretty good. Greg specs them out for us. He's our in-house mechanic and just general guru on anything that has to do with the bicycles. But this is a pretty good place to store them. We have pull-down electrical if we need it. We have pull-down air if we need it. The air compressor is actually right here. So we can hook this right up to the bike. So Greg doesn't have to manually do it like that, but he likes the exercise.
He's showing off.
He's showing off. He's in good shape.
And the access in and out of this building, it's not like the last building where it was tricky. You actually have a light right at the entrance.
Yep. Yeah. It's much easier for people to get in and out of here. And it's a dedicated light. So once you're on the pad waiting to exit, it reads that you're there. And then it will add you into the light cycle. If not, it'll just be green going up and down C Street.
And before, of course, you had a dedicated path, but it was at a major intersection, which made it difficult. Sometimes cars wouldn't pay attention to the path.
Correct.
Printed on the road.
It was hard. A lot easier and a lot more efficient on all sides.
Right.
So it's pretty good.
So we have some cruisers here.
Yep. So this is where patrol will park their marked cruisers. It's closest to the entrance that generally the officers will go in and out when they're working. That's one of our back doors there. So the cars will just park here and the officers can get in, write their reports. They'll go back out into their areas and service calls and so on and so on and so on. And that goes on for 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
That's right. Never closed.
Never closed. No. It's like 7-Eleven.
Well, it used to be 7-Eleven.
Used to be, but now it's 24 hours.
Right. So, okay, so
awesome.
Where do we go now?
We'll go take a look at our patio and then the main break room that we have, and then we'll make our way downstairs. these are all good. These are all vehicle, they're protection for vehicles. So if a vehicle tries to ram in here, it won't go far.
We're at the cafe.
Yeah, so this is the outdoor patio area. This is a nice little added feature. It's pretty nice. People come out here and they enjoy their lunch. The professional staff is usually out here. We're kind of on the go all the time. So once in a while, we'll see some of them out here eating their lunch. I'm shocked that no one's out here right now since it's 1 o'clock.
That's because we're here.
Because we're here. So
I noticed there's some planters on the other side of this, and you'd mentioned that they're planters, but they're also barriers.
they're barriers to stop vehicles from coming into this area. And it's pretty cool because the way that they have it set up, there's a bench element to it. So you can sit there and enjoy a nice day. Today it's going to rain, so it won't be that nice later. But when it's a nice sunny day out during the summer, I'm sure people will be out here and just taking a little break.
Very good. All right, let's go. Okay, so Ryan, this is kind of inside the cafe.
Yeah, so this is the Quincy Police lunchroom. This is the new lunchroom. It's a nice open design. It leads right to that hallway right there. One of our 2 elevators is just on the left there in the hall. It's a very, very nice place compared to the old station.
Like a cafe. I'm calling it a cafe, but it's like a cafe.
It's really nice. I mean, we enjoy eating lunch here. So
multiple TVs, which I'm sure at some point might be on QATV.
they may be on QATV. I don't think I've seen any of them on since we got here. But supposedly it's going to be a messaging system for like upcoming events, I think. So
Okay.
they're all computer monitors too. So it's a interesting techie setup above my head. So it's like you can plug in and be like, hey, here's the message of the day. So I don't know what anybody has planned for that, but it is a pretty nice feature.
There's counters. There's
Yep.
sofa.
Like a bench seating, like you kind of see in a restaurant maybe.
And then quite a few cabinets. You've got
Bunch of cabinets. We got a range, microwave, Keurig, refrigerator. It's just really nice. It's a really nice step up. Very well done.
And the lighting is subtle.
Yeah, it's. I think there's some sound bit built into it too, because it's such a big room. You can kind of hear the difference from outside and in here. With it absorbs the noise. It's just a nice space. It's calming.
Agreed. All right, let's move on. All right, so we've stopped kind of halfway down a corridor.
So here we have the men's locker room and the women's locker room. This room is for the fire department. We do share this building with emergency management and the fire department. This is for their turnout gear to be stored and repaired. There's also the ability for them to clean it in here, I believe. So I don't have access to this room because I don't work for the fire department, but that's also down here as well.
And I like how you had mentioned that this is a building that is shared because the original police station was just police.
It was just us. But now we have emergency management and some of the fire department with us. They don't keep any apparatus here. Their admin office is here and fire prevention and construction permits and things like that. All the construction site regulators are here too. They're on the 3rd floor. We'll see that in a little bit.
Okay. We are in the wellness room.
Yeah, so this is our new gym. All this equipment is brand new. This is a massive upgrade from what we had before. All the equipment that we had before was donated from different businesses like BFDS and State Street and other places. All hand-me-down stuff that would chronically break, and it wasn't really great and safe in some aspects. But this is a massive upgrade. This is very, very important. I can't state it enough. For the mental health and well-being of the police officers that work in this building and the firefighters and emergency management. We are all in high-stress jobs. This is a stress inoculator. When you're able to come to a safe, clean, reliable place to work out, it makes you a better professional on the street, and it makes you a better person overall because you're getting healthy. So this was a very, very hard-fought, important upgrade that we needed.
And again, it's referred to as the wellness room as opposed to a gym.
Yeah, I'm always going to call it a gym. I guess I'm a little old school, but it's a wellness room.
But based on what you just said,
Yeah,
it really works as a wellness center.
it does. It's very nice. It's quiet. You can really focus on what you need to do in here. It's just a great space.
And what time do you work out?
My workouts vary. After you, Mark.
The firing range.
Yeah, this is our new indoor range we have here at the Quincy Police Department. Saves us from going out to the Boston range, which was outdoor on Long Island. This is a state-of-the-art range. So 10 lanes, 25 yards. As you can tell, everything's computerized, as you can see right here. All of these target holders for each range. The range master, Dan Francis, will touch a button, make it go down 5 yards, 10 yards, all the way down. They can have the targets advance, they can have the targets retreat. You can even have a target go sideways. It is an unbelievable upgrade from having to rent time from the Boston Police Department at their range and rent time from the Hanover Police Department at their range. You can shoot any caliber up to 308 here, which that's a pretty good size round. It's about that big. It's awesome. This is just an awesome facility. It's great. The firearms instructors are top notch here. SWAT trains here, patrol trains here. We do our qualifications here. The state came in, they tested it out for its feasibility once the building opened, so they were down here. It is just a great facility.
And are there scheduled times?
So for training, they'll put the training out, and it will be on any given day. It usually starts at 8, ends at 8. There'll be 3 classes throughout the day. So whenever the training lieutenant comes out with a schedule, we show up and we shoot.
So this is the defensive tactics?
Yeah, so this is where we practice our defensive tactics. We have to requalify, for lack of a better word, every year. We usually do a refresher, so it'll teach us pretty much everything that goes from the bottom to the top of the use of force continuum. This is a really good space. As you can tell, the floor is a little rubbery, so that's good. We used to have to rent space before to do those classes. We used to do it out at the marina. Sometimes we do it at one of the school gyms. This is a much better space. It's great.
Very good. Okay, let's continue the tour. We are about to enter the briefing room.
So this is our SWAT briefing room. This is one of 3 classrooms that we have here in the building. This is the smallest of the 3.
Okay, let's go in. Okay, so we're inside the briefing room.
So this is the briefing room. We usually do this use this room for SWAT operations. Prior to going out to the operation, we sit here, we have the computer screens. We usually do a map overlay of the area or the target building or person or whatever the situation describes for us. So we sit here, we get briefed by the command staff. They tell us what the mission is, how we're going to execute it, how we're going to get there, and all of the different things that could go awry, and we have plans for it. We met here for a briefing for a surrounding call-out for a search warrant. There was members from, not too long ago, a few weeks ago, there was members from the SWAT team, the crisis negotiation team, so I was here for that. The command staff, we went out, went to the mission, completed it, did the search warrant, no issues, came back here, did a debriefing. So that's what this room is primarily used for.
Okay, this is the vehicle bay.
This is a special operations garage. We have 3 different vehicles here. We have our department's Bearcat, that's essentially an armored car. We have the SWAT equipment truck, and then we have our command post, which is on the other side. You have 1 drive-in, drive-out bay, but they have 2 vehicles in it, so it's essentially a drive-in bay. Where the command post is, that is just a back-in bay too. So it's a pretty nice space. We used to keep this keep these vehicles at a different location, off-site from the old police department. But it's good to have everything in its home.
Well, I'm noticing that as we go through the building, you're telling me that you rented space here, you rented space here, you rented space there. Mm-hmm. Now you're all together. It's all together. It must be a lot easier. And easier. In the long run, cheaper.
Yeah, I would believe so. I mean, I don't get to take a look at the books, so you know what I mean? That's not my...
If you're not paying rent.
Correct. If you're not renting things out, that's going to be a line item that's streamlined.
Sure.
But it's really good to have all the stuff here because there are certain people who are in charge of maintaining the equipment in these vehicles. So I maintain the command post to a certain extent. All the mechanical stuff goes to the mechanics, but everything inside I kind of deal with. So it's good for me to have it here that I can pop down, take care of something real quick, and then go about my duties.
And it's always at the ready because it's in the same building
Yep.
as the officers.
Yeah, that's right. It's ready to go whenever we need it.
All right, so Ryan, where are we at now?
This is the report room. This is where a patrol will come in and they'll write their reports. You can tell that there's multiple stations here. All the paperwork that they need is over here in those cubbies. Most of the paperwork's been digitized, so it's all on the computers, so you can attach it to a report and send it off to the cloud, and the cloud will hold it forever until it needs to purge it out, I guess. But this is a really nice space. There's 2 printers, operate under a system of redundancy. If one goes down, you can just default to the other one.
Smart.
It's a nice little space for everybody to come write their reports. The door shuts, which is good. The old report room was bigger and louder. It was the old communications room forever ago in the old station.
And
it
the door didn't shut?
Not fully. One of them did, but the other one didn't. And, it was just a lot louder. It's just a lot quieter in here now, which is good. But officers will be coming in, they'll write their reports and go back out on the street.
Okay, well, let's continue on. All right, so this is the roll call room?
Yeah, this is the roll call room. So at the beginning of each shift at 8 a.m., 4 p.m., and midnight, all the officers that are assigned to that shift will come here, get briefed by the patrol lieutenant or the desk sergeant, the duty sergeant. They'll give them the roll, so they'll call all the cars, make sure that all the personnel are here, and give them any relevant information before they go out on the street.
We should have done this from the podium.
Probably. That's
good.
for supervisors. Let the supervisors do that.
A lot of walking today.
Yeah, getting our steps in.
Absolutely. So, and our crew feels it, by the way.
Good.
So what room are we in right now?
This is our community training room. We hold all kinds of meetings and trainings here. We actually do our Citizens Academy here, which will be here tonight. The main focus of this room and the next room that we're going to see, the tiered training room, is this giant monitors. Like it's 9 monitors that make one big one. It's awesome. It's great for presentations. It's a lot better than using a sheet or a wall with a projection monitor to do PowerPoints. So presenting it this way is a lot more professional, a lot neater, and it's just really nice.
Is this the first class to see this room?
The Citizens Academy? Yeah. Yep. But we've had various meetings, city meetings, state meetings here, different grant meetings, so we'll use this room a lot. Trainings, smaller trainings within the department.
And now we're off to...
The tiered training room, so that's our big training room.
Okay, let's go there.
Let's go. Let's take a look.
All right, so this is the tiered training room.
That's what we call it, or the amphitheater, some of us call it. It can hold up to 80 people. This is where we have bigger trainings. They just did a bunch of different trainings here. CPR we did. We have a big grant meeting for the Shannon grant coming in June 3rd, where there's going to be 75 people. It's going to be full. As you can tell, we have the monitors again. There's more of them here, and it has police department, the city of Quincy seal, and the fire department, because again, we share this space with the fire department. It's a very, very nice place to present different subjects. It's just a great room. I mean, this is probably half of the first floor in the old building, so this is a great space. The view of the Fall River Basin right there is phenomenal. It's just a great place to teach and learn.
In the previous building, nothing like this as far as a training space?
No, we had to use our roll call room and our cafeteria as training spaces in the old building. So it's good to have a dedicated training area where we can feel comfortable of learning different things and stuff like that. So
good. All right, let's continue on. One of our crew members who also was a part of the Citizen Police Academy had just mentioned that this room looks a lot like the room 2 below.
yeah, it's almost a carbon copy. It's got a nicer view and it's on the 3rd floor. So this is the lunchroom for the fire department, admin, and emergency management. It's a nice space, beautiful view of the Fall River Basin. Again, another safe, clean, newer space to have lunch.
And again, great views.
Yep.
All right, let's continue on. All right, so as we head, Ryan, down this corridor,
Yep. You have emergency management. This is their office. The EOC is in here. Mr. McCarthy's office is in here, and he and Declan are the emergency management personnel, and this is their office. So starting on,
so this is more administrative.
yep. So this is where the fire administration is and police administration. So fire administration is on this side of the hallway. Once we get past the other side of the elevator, that's going to be the police administration. So this is where communications is. We'll go and take a look in a second. This is where all the 911 calls for the city come in. This is where we dispatch police cars from. Any medical 911s we send over to Brewster. Any fire 911s will hold the line as well with both fire and EMS, but we'll also send it to the fire department. And then they'll dispatch their equipment appropriately. We'll dispatch our units and ambulances.
And again, the old building, this particular unit, the communication unit, was the most recent. You're thinking 2017.
I want to say somewhere around there. All the years tend to blend together. So it's like, it's just one of those things where it's, oh yeah, all right. It seems like 2016, 2017, but who knows? You
We'll
know,
have to go with that.
But it definitely was renovated. It was moved when I was there, and I've been here 21 years. So it was definitely within that time frame.
Okay.
I can
All
say
right.
that for certain.
Great. Let's go in.
All right.
All right, so Ryan, what do you say we check and see if the chief is in? Chief Kennedy,
Hey, Mark. How you doing?
great
Welcome.
to meet you. Yeah, great
Nice
to
to
meet
see
you
you.
in this building.
Yeah, this is fantastic, right?
Absolutely.
You
We
get the tour?
Ryan Donnelly, Officer Donnelly, just
Oh,
gave
yeah.
me the tour. Great space. Finally, everyone is in. All the departments are in and moved over from the old building.
We are.
The old building will be coming down shortly.
Not soon enough.
Understood. Just talk about the whole, I guess, the reason for having a building like this. One of the things I've noticed is throughout the tour, Ryan was saying how space was rented over here for this, space was rented over here for this, and we were relying on Boston, or we were relying on another town as far as a space to do training or a space to do various activities. Now it's all in one place.
Not only is it, more space, but the other building, we were just on top of each other. They would take, the department grew, over the course of, there was a 100-year building, and I know there was the expansion in the 80s, but the expansion just, it never fit right. They were still taking offices and cutting them in half and making that into two offices, which messed with the whole ventilation of the building. It never, the air conditioning, you drive by, you'd see the window units hanging out of the windows because it just never had the right ventilation, never had the right circulation. The returns and the ductwork just never worked because they were carving up spaces. So not only did we outgrow it, but it really wasn't even a healthy building to be in. But you see walking around here, like you said, we have a range, we have a great fitness facility. We're allowing our officers to do more working out on shift if they give up their lunch break. And that's been incredibly well received. Our health and wellness has improved not only environmentally, but just the ability to take, an extra 15, 20 minutes and go to the gym on top of your lunch break. So yeah, the firing range has been great. We used to have to pay Boston or pay Hanover to use their ranges, and we worked around their schedules. And the other day, Captain Bill Ward and I, my executive officer, we had to qualify. We literally hopped in the elevator, went downstairs, fired up the range, qualified, and we were back up here after cleaning our weapons and decontaminating, within an hour. So it was fantastic.
So efficiency.
Efficiency, we've already run, I'm sure you've seen the tiered training room, if Ryan brought you in there. We've already run classes out of there for other departments in the region. And, not having to beg, borrow, and steal. whether from a high school or one of the other buildings in the city, to let us go in and use their facility that was large enough for us to train and also have parking. So it's been a game changer for us.
And I guess looking at overall trends, this public safety headquarters, which is housing police, fire, emergency management, how popular is this model now compared to just a single police station, a single fire station?
Yeah, it really takes us out of our silos. I mean, we had, unfortunately, an active duty firefighter just passed away from occupational cancer. So the fact that, Chief Smith could call and say, hey, can we meet? And he comes from one end of the building, we come from the other, and we meet in the conference room. And, afterwards, his deputy chief was down here and we were sitting here talking for a while. That never happened before, that we can all sort of plan and get together on things, whether it's our active shooter hostile event response and any trainings that we do. I mean, just the relationship of being right next door to each other. Emergency Management Director McCarthy's down here all the time. So we're actually able to talk about different programs, and we're all a member of this UASI Urban Area Security Initiative grant funding stream. And we were down here talking about that the other day. So it's really a game changer to have us all not only in the same building, but on the same floor. So.
And then in addition to all of that, there's actually a community meeting room space?
Yeah, on the second floor, right off of the elevator, we actually used it. Councilor Ryan had a Ward 4 meeting, a week or two ago.
She was just in the studio today. So
oh, was she?
She was
Okay.
talking about community meetings. That was the one, I guess.
Yeah, she had it right. She had it right in there. So it was very well attended, and we stuck around after. I gave a few people a tour of the building that wanted to stick around. But it was pretty cool to see it utilized like that, and sort of, taken from when we originally had this vision. And speaking with the mayor about the vision for this building, that was the vision for that room, and to see it from the planning stages all the way to the steel going up. And I know we talked about that with the steel going up, and I was here with my kids, and when they did the topping off ceremony, to actually being here for the first time, it was utilized for a community meeting, was a really cool thing.
So talk about the mayor and his interest in having this facility and how important it was to him. Obviously, how important it is to you.
Yeah, it's, his vision, I can't say enough about it. It was really his vision to, he told us in the beginning, you have the inside of the building, and I want to control the look of the outside of the building. And just, we talked about the Coddington corridor and the way that, the old Quincy College looks, and the way that the Thomas Crane Library looks, and it has a very unique feel. And he didn't want a cookie cutter look on this building, and he definitely didn't get one, because it's such a beautiful building, and the vision of the outside, and just even the wall matching the Mount Wollaston Cemetery wall, the retaining wall in front of our building, little things like that. And we're a granite city, to have sort of the granite look on the facade of the building. But more importantly than that, from my perspective, the inside of the building, I hope Brian can bring you up to the top floor, because you can see it's roughed out and it's ready for future expansion. So when we say this is a 100-year building, that's what we're talking about. Like I was at a conference in Colorado, and the chief there, it's a city around our size, they might be a little bit bigger, and he was really excited to show a group of us his headquarters. And it was up in Fort Collins, Colorado. And we look, and it's a beautiful building from the outside, and go inside, and it's really nice and very well laid out. And then we start walking through, and it's a 20-year-old building, so it's still, relatively new for a building. And he's walking through, and I'm noticing desks in the hallways. And I said, Jeff, what's going on with all the... He goes, we ran out of space. We're going in front of the city council. We're trying to expand out the back, but we outgrew it. And that was 20 years. And I was telling him about the vision for this building, because we hadn't moved in here yet, and how the entire top floor is roughed out and unfinished, and we have room to grow. And he even remarked, like, geez, what an unbelievable idea. And, that wasn't my vision. That was the mayor's vision and the people who built this building. So I think we come back here in 20 years, it'll all be offices up there. So it's...
Will you still be around in 20 years?
I don't think so.
I
hope
still
I'm
be
alive.
chief.
I will not be cheap in 20 years. I can promise you that.
Thanks again for,
thank you. Thanks
letting
for
us
stopping by.
chat.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So Ryan, we've come to the end of our tour. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You're very welcome.